What is up, guys, and welcome to another episode of my HLTV Fantasy. Today we are looking at EPL Season 16 Group B. But before I jump into that, I actually wanted to kind of go over how I've done in the previous few events, because there's been a lot of them. First off, last group of EPL, really bad. Not much else I can talk about here. It's another really bad, Blast was not good. I think I showed this. Blast was not good, but it's not like horrible. At least I got some points. This was really bad. Navi was a lot worse than I thought. Nip was a lot worse than I thought. But like, honestly, somehow Brolin has more points than Bit and Samda Young. And Dupree was just not putting the points for Vitality either. We are very far away with this from like the best lineups. But what are you gonna do? I thought Navi would destroy. I thought NIP was the more stable team between them and Vitality, and it didn't end up looking like that at all. ESL Challenger Melbourne, bad. OG somehow just lose both their games, I believe, and they're eliminated. Imperial, like Fallen, for example, was fine. Or actually one of the highest rated players in the tournament, levels of fine, and Blitz would have been fine if the surrounding players were any better. We can check like the highest rated team here. Would have been, yeah, Pain was in the finals alongside like Imperial, but also apparently Entropic got some pretty good points, especially Crad apparently did very well this event. CCT Central Series thingy, really bad again. I don't know, I'm just cursing these teams. Finest just lost first round. Hades minus 36 was like bottom fragging. Just not good enough. I have no clue how this even went, this event. There's just been too many events that I could have been watching. And yeah, it's something like this that would have won apparently. I believe one win actually might have won that event, if I'm not mistaken, probably against MIBR in the finals. But this would have been like the lineup to beat. And then we have ESL Challenger groups going on right now. So, I mean, right now, not much to say yet, because over half the team hasn't really played yet. It's a very long event, it seems. There's been like 2 games played for Force. First one, somehow they lost against, what was it? 9, spelled like that. Not good. And then second one they won, but not like with crazy points. Pretty good points, but not crazy points. Hoping they're gonna do a bit of revenge here, and then hoping that these other teams are gonna do a bit better as well. But I mean, like, Jax is playing September 20th. Versus series. It's like already scheduled, but September 20th, it's like three weeks still, and this has been already going on for like probably a week, so pretty crazy schedule for this event. It's just gonna be going on in the background. Let's see how it goes. But yeah, that's it for these. I already made my ego up video. If you wanna hear me talk more about who I think is going to do well here and who's not and why, go watch that. But the short and sweet of it is, I think FaZe, Big, and Outsiders is going to go top 3. And G2 is probably, or in my eyes, G2 is outside the top 3. Although I, of course, know that if they play to their highest potential, they can definitely qualify, no questions about it. So that leaves us in an interesting position when it comes to picking the team. Mostly because I have this feeling of I could go like double Outsiders. Just risk it for the biscuit a bit. And just go for one big player. I could also go for a very cheap G2 player. Hope that pays off. I'm not really looking into buying a cheap player from FTW. Or any player from MIBR for that matter. I'm trying to eye for some like bargain picks. Hunter for True 13 seems really good, but again, not going for G2. I think big players, especially like Topsen, maybe Crimbo, maybe Faven, not Keto, probably not Searson, because this is a LAN tournament. It's pretty funny how popular that meme is. We could also check which players are like the most picked. JKS most picked player. Carrigan very picked as well. No questions about it. Like Carrigan's a very good pick. And one that I am definitely eyeing here as a potential buy for my lineup. And like 3 other face players. Rain kind of falling out of favor here. How are Rain's stats lately? Not quite as good, yeah. I don't think this is that he's 212 grand good lately. He was really good at the major. He was really good at Cologne, but in events apart from that, not being so hot lately. These are not like small events. Like Blast Groups is still a pretty big event. But then again, FaZe didn't play that well as a team there. Rubit Cup I don't care about. Like Spring Finals, that's a big one. Dallas is a pretty big one, although FaZe was also not very on point there. I could see myself picking any of these players. I think they're now pretty fairly priced for their like current value. I think Rops is also a fine pick for this. 217 for Rops is not that bad. Faven, Crimbo, Topsen. I really would like to have Topsen. I think it's time to give Big maybe another shot. And then there's the option of like if I need to go more on a budget, I'm probably going Outsiders. Let's just start making something. And this is something. I mean, this is already a team. We don't have an AWP on this team. I don't like not having an AWP. What if we go this? Oh my god. What are like the potential cuts? Topsen out for Faven. Kiekert can also probably be upgraded now. Not quite. But I do want to have an AWPer, I think, this event. It's a lot of role points that you're giving up if you don't go for an AWPer. And I think Shame is then the pick. Shame's been pretty decent. Shame was their best player in Cologne, only player above 1.0. Then it doesn't have to be Baroque, but then it's probably, I mean, then it can be this, right? So like this is definitely an option. I really don't dislike Crimbo or Faven for this. I think this is like the strongest I can think of, at least right now. I'm gonna change up the order a bit, but that doesn't really matter. But also only leaves one Kane Bank. What about roles? So the biggest problem with these players for big is that the roles can be a bit iffy. So it would be IGL Carrigan, main op Jame, then it would be probably support Crimbo, CT rating Rops or CT Faven, and then something on them as the last thing as well. Maybe CT Faven like multi-kill, but this is not like the greatest multi-kill percentage either. So yeah, that's basically something to think about here, is that Topsen would be like, what would we put on Topsen? Maybe it could be CT rating. It's tough with big players with roles a lot of the times. They are kind of heroic-esque in the fact that they're pretty fluid. Like, of course, Keto headshot percentage is fine. Kiekert has pretty good headshot percentage as well. Fame has very good headshot percentage, to be honest. Maybe that's something to think about. Yeah, it's pretty tough to make work. It needs to be like... Oh yeah, we can have 3 outsiders plays, of course. Fame, and Jame. But then there's no money for any of those. Man, it's pretty damn difficult. But I think this is just so good on paper to me. Let's see. I mean, it's a very short video if this is the lineup I end up going with, but I just have a pretty good feeling about it. Let's see roll-wise. So IGL for sure. I'm not quite sure yet. Omeno for sure. I would say support like 99% of the time. Yeah, just makes a lot of sense. And then we have Rops and Faven. So for Faven, does either of them have entry? Not really. Attacker. It's like these headshot machine is such a good such a good role, just because like even sub 50%, this is still your headshot machine, like trigger rate, which is very good. It's just a very good trigger rate. So multi-fragger is actually better than CT rating for wait, now I have Faven? Oh yeah, Faven. I'm getting very tired, I guess. I completely mixed that up in my head, who's who. Whereas CT rating is better for rocks. So I mean, that makes sense, right? Camper, kind of good for rocks though. Camper's sort of really good. This is like 91%, this is 98% trigger rate. Is Rops the camper god? Do we just go Rops camper? Which is better out of these? It's pretty close. And then do we get... So like multi-kill is on paper better on Faven. Camper or defender? So defender has higher potential upside. I think it has to be camper. I mean, defender has higher potential upside than camper. I like this. I'm just going with it. And yeah, I just see no real reason. If you're not going for G2, I think this is probably pretty close to the best lineup. Again, I did this the last time. If you're not interested in seeing me put on boosters, turn off the video now. Thank you for watching. If you are, I will be throwing boosters on now. So KST against easiest for highest KST. James highest KST versus for the win. Easy peasy. Now it becomes more difficult. Headshots. Who has the highest headshot percentage? Either Robs or Crimbo. Which team has no high headshot percentage players? I'm not gonna bother to check that really, but G2 have some high headshot players. I think MIBR do as well. FaZe has twists. Outsiders have like, I guess, oh yeah, Kiekert at least. There's some pretty high headshot percentage players here. Except for Big. So maybe we go headshot percentage on Rops instead against Big. No, Big have Keto. What am I thinking about? So it has to be like for the win esports or MIBR. I'm actually gonna check it. God damn, it's just a lot of work. Hopper, 40%. 53%, 45. Okay, I think we do this. 53% is the highest. Okay, I'll just check MIBR as well. If I don't check, I'll be annoyed. Is there someone I know is high headshots? Not really. Oops, wrong stuff. 49. 44. Okay, MIBR. Higher. Okay. FTW it is. For ROPS or Crimbo. Probably Crimbo versus FTW. Okay. Best pistol. Do we have other stuff? So like assist against slightly higher. So like Carrigan versus like G2 assist is fine. Carrigan bottom of scorecard versus, I guess it has to be big then, under our logic. Avenger, Faven against pretty tough one. So like outsiders maybe. Choke. James our choker versus like the hardest one. So it's like phase. Maybe, or maybe big, one or the other. Phase are pretty good, resilient at least. Clutch, again, a decently difficult one. Let's go with, I think G2 are a team that's probably easier to clutch against. That's something I haven't really thought about before. Like which team is it easiest to clutch against, but it's a real thing, of course. Say G2 30 bombed by Faven. What else do we have? Best pistol, I would say Crimbo probably, yeah. Best pistol. Do you have something like it needs to be better teams? G2 are, how good is G2 at pistols? G2 used to be trash at pistols. Maybe they still are. Let's see. Top of scorecard. Faven versus top of scorecard can be like whatever. Let's say MIBR. MIBR might bring it to 3 maps, which kind of raises the percentages. James, Rambo, whatever. Oh, I have this, of course. Yeah, wait. KSD I want against for the win. Now we have Rambo. I messed that one up. Now it's correct. And then against MIBR knife. That's fine. Bait. Obviously Carrigan. Versus. Do we have one against Big yet? Yeah, we do. And just outsiders make sense. Ace. Faven. Yeah, the easier ones, I guess. Flash. Of course, James. We have something on James for everything except for this. We need to actually, yeah, of course we need Saber versus Big. So wait, what are we gonna do with Flash then? So we need to take something away from one of these others. We can take away Choker. This was against Phase, right? I'd rather have Flash Assist here, and then we can have like someone else as Choker. Yeah, basically them. Against outsiders makes sense to me. Now we have nade kills. It's Carrigan versus like the easiest one to get nade kills, and then this here. How many boosters does ROPS have even? Like none except for this. ROPS, you need to get your boost. He's just all around too good. Like, I guess, because no booster is really good on him. But okay, I think that's it for this this one. Yeah, if you enjoy this kind of content, please please remember to leave a like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.